Oh my god, here we go! Finally, you're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. I should have brought water. Why did I not do that? This is gonna hurt my voice. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Yeah, the voice volume set to 0. I can't remember if I already said that because I've done so many outtakes at this point that I am slowly losing my mind. Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. Oh, I was going to say a warning, but no, that doesn't come up yet. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Give me blade! Give me stabby! You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. Is my computer crashing? Please tell me my computer is not crashing. Oh, here we go. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. The princess really lives here. Slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs. Who's there? She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you? Great job. You gave away the elemental surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. So coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand. You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. What? No way, why would you even think that? That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it? The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade. You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be. You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. Slay. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you on the princess in somewhat equal footing. I feel like I kind of fumbled over my words a bit there. Your blade slashes through the air again and again. Her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around. Give up. Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it? Is this really the best you can do? Look at you, completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed. She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath. It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company. Everything goes dark, and you die. The tower! You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. She's gonna kill me again! Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She's not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second guessing yourself. Voices don't question my voice being weird. Alright, we're not going to question it, I guess. We're going to just proceed to the cabin. A warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist, I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough just how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. She's wrongfully imprisoned, and we should rescue her. But if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please, try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small. We're just gonna go in and say hello, I think. Before I have to destroy my vocal cords doing the tower. No blade this time? Yeah, maybe she'll be more receptive if we're unarmed. Blade, no blade, it doesn't matter. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase, its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Oh, this is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs. I'm sorry, I don't know if a race car just drove past my window or something like. That was... I'm sorry if you heard that. Anyway, her booming voice rolls up the stairs. Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me. You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. You shouldn't have come down here unarmed. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there? Doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. So if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure flamed? Her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. Might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her. The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try to kill me. How sweet. And more than a little disappointed. She's disappointed in us. Kneel. No, but the words don't leave your mouth. Instead, your legs buckle and your knees hit the floor. That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me, and yet here you are again, this time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak. The last time we met. I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas. No, I won't tell you. You will. Just do it already. It'll feel so much better to do as she says. You're supposed to end the world. You weak-willed buffoon. Is that so? Excuse me. The princess closes her eyes in contemplation. Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. Feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is unnecessarily... That's what the tower sounds like. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. A new little bird will help me seize it. If she's inevitable, there's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us. Ooh. What happened to you after I died? Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There is an empty place in my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. What would you have me do? What do you have planned? All you have to do is break these chains and set me free. You're so powerful, can't you just break the chains yourself? Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place. I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction and genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me unto the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference, because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours. I'm yours to command. Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent? All you need to do now is break my chains. If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this. There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo. Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me. You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand. No, no, no. What are you talking about? I don't care what you are. You're mine. Ah! Rise, my little bird. Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet. Break my chains. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been done. And what if I don't believe? What happens then? You poor wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart. It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever. No, please don't do this. I have to. It's over, I'm sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be, and it is good. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back. Her chains shatter. Oh, sorry. I should do it. It's pink. I'm gonna do it from her perspective. My chains shatter, and the cuff falls from my wrist. I am loose, and the end is upon us. What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave. What happens now? Nothing, and then everything. But you do not take her hand. Something has taken her away. It's left something else in her place. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? Is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror. There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. I don't want to look at us. Narrator is gone. He is. Does that mean the world ended? It is the world would end and leave us with all this nothing. I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious? I'm begging you, don't do this. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that was empty. It was quiet here. You're at the cabin. Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. The gift of a fragile vessel? Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance. A figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for an overwhelming heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you. What happens now? Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. Okay, make me forget. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't. Everything goes dark, and you die. Yeah, that wasn't a joke. Everything goes dark and you die. Playing game. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, fucking hell. I just started the goddamn recording. This is a recording to see what the fuck happens when I mess around. Like, for example, if this does anything. Can you see this? Oh, that's the Wraith. I was thinking it was KFC. This is KFC. Anyway. Just testing if that works. Welcome to Slay the Princess, but I turned the voice volume down because I'm going to do the voices myself, because why not? What the fuck? Welcome to Slay the Princess, but the voice volume is at 0, because I'm going to do the voices myself. What is happening? Welcome to attempt number 500 at me getting this to work, because for some reason the text keeps skipping. Slay the Princess, but the voice volume is set to 0. Was it actually voice volume? It was voice volume! Not happy. No! I'm not happy! Welcome to the Slay the Princess without any... the voice volume. Sorry, I've taken so many recordings of this because it just auto-skips text as soon as I hit new game. And I don't want it to do that. It's really annoying, so bear with me. What is happening? Why does this happen? Hang on. You know what? I'll just crop the video later. Oh my god. How do I escape? Try again.